morning, market snipers. Welcome back. This is Jesse getting started just a little bit early on 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We were doing the live streams not full time. I mean, Monday through Friday, every day that the stock market was open. That's what I committed to for 1 year. We started right at 9 a.m., right on the dot. And then the baby came and started to start a little bit later, 9:01, 9:02, 9:03. Survived those first couple months, and here we are now. We have a nanny from 7:30 to 3:30, so allows me to get going and rock and roll on the charts a little bit earlier. So here we are. If you're new, awesome, welcome, and if you're returning, even better. Good to see you on here. First half of the live stream, we will cover. Let's take this off. We don't need that anymore. The first half of the live stream, we will cover, we typically cover Bitcoin. We typically cover the altcoins, at least what's on my watch list. Usually we cover the indices and the stock and some of the stocks like the Magnificent Seven and anything else that we're keeping an eye on and watching out for. And then the second half of the live stream, make sure to get your chart requests in early birds get the worm. Make sure to put in all the details. So if you want me to chart something for you on the second half of the live stream, put in the ticker symbol, for example, BTC. Yeah, everyone knows BTC. But put in BTC. If it's not extremely obvious like BTC or ETH or Apple, right? Also let me know what asset class it is, because the ticker symbol overlaps sometimes on crypto and stocks. So just help me search for it quickly, keep the live streaming. And then put all the details in, right? Put in all the details. Are you long? Are you short? Are you looking for XYZ? Let me know so that we can talk about it. Some water. There we go. So let's get rocking and rolling. Good morning. Thomas, aka Doc. 70 or 120, the big question for BTC. We will be sure. In hindsight, I'm eager to hear your light bulb. Okay. DJR78, long-time market sniper. Oh yeah, sniper crew, long-time market sniper. At least 2 years, I think, right? At least 2 years in the Discord. Is that correct? Let me know. I think it's hard to remember all the Discord names, X names, YouTube names, all that stuff. But I'm 99.99% sure you've been in the Discord at least 2 years. I think so. Pretty sure. More than pretty sure, right? 99.99%. I could be wrong. That's why I don't give myself 100%. Thomas, good. Gold seems to break out. We will see. Yeah, it was on the lower time frames for sure. The other day, it was breaking out on the lower time frames. We can take a look at it. You always like to look at gold and stuff like that. So, what's the title? Bitcoin holds the line for now. Altcoins pump. HBAR, Algo, XRP, and XLM, and ADA, Cardano, right? All were pumping the last few days. So they look different than Bitcoin, right? So we will get into that. What else? Apple is crashing. Yes. So we're going to do a little comparison today. Bitcoin 5-day chart. That's what I posted with that MACD bearish crossover. We're going to take a look at NVIDIA and Apple, which also had 5-day MACD bearish crossovers, right? So could give us some clues and better explain what I've been talking about on the 5-day bearish MACD crossover. So let's do a quick recap. Indeed, April. Oh, wow. Day one. Close to day one. It's because of the 78. Yep. In Discord, though, I think it was Yeah, the 78 for sure. Remember, at one time I think your name was 404. That's why it's been like I'm always like second guessing myself because of that. Because I think you were 404 at one point. I don't know. Good day. Can you give your opinion? Yeah. Well, we're going to be covering the Bitcoin versus NVIDIA and Apple. Yeah. You got it, Luis. Luis, you got it. All right, let's do it. So let's go to the 5-day chart, right? So the 5-day chart, you can still say it's currently bullish, right? You could still say that. You have that buy signal back here, September 17th. I've been talking about the early warning signs. David Fletcher, respect all that you do. Thank you for, yeah. Thank you, David. Thank you for commenting, liking. Of course, you're reposting this, right? Of course, you're sharing this with everybody. Help me, help you, help me. I appreciate that. And so the Bitcoin 5-day chart, like I said, it had the buy signal, still in an uptrend, had that wick down to $89,000 and hit one target, almost hit two targets to the downside. Not yet, though. Not yet. You can see it was getting overbought. And then you can see that RSI had that sell signal on December 26th. None of this is, not all of this has happened on the weekly chart. So I'm showing the 5-day chart, right? The weekly chart has not had a bearish MACD crossover yet. The weekly chart, I'm pretty sure had RSI sell signal though, or pending RSI sell signal, right? So pending. But the 5-day chart already has it. And before the 5-day chart did, I was showing the 3-day chart had a bearish MACD crossover. So the signs were getting more and more, right? But what have I always said? What do I always say? If you've been watching me for any length of time, the MACD can be a bearish, can be a lagging indicator, especially on the 3-day chart, especially on the 5-day chart. And what could happen on the MACD? After there's a bearish MACD crossover on a 5-day chart, what were we talking about? The first thing I said was when there was a MACD bearish crossover, well, I was talking about when it was pending, but when it confirmed a MACD bearish crossover, I said in the shorter term, price could go higher. Sure enough, after price hit $89,000, pumps back up to $100,000, and everybody, all the perma bulls come out of the woodwork and talk about what happened to 74,000? What happened to Bitcoin going to zero? What happened? Oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's early. It's a 5-day chart, right? It's a 5-day chart. And I posted what happens on the 5-day MACD chart is this last one over here was 22% decline, right? But it took 4 months before it flipped back around, right? No, I'm sorry. This one was, hold on, let me pull up the price. Yeah, this one was a 30, almost 33% wick to wick. And it took 4 months for the ship to get turned around in the right direction, right? So that's what I'm pointing out. This one over here, well, this one only had a, what about this one on the 5-day MACD? I didn't actually point that one out for different reasons, but that one was still a 22% correction from wick to wick, right? Still a 21% correction from wick to wick, roughly. I was pointing out the other ones that had the MACD was at a much higher level, right? Was at a much higher level. And those had much larger corrections, right? So from there to there, 55%, right? Or from there all the way down here, you could even call it 77%. But they took like 4 months for it to flip around, right? So even if you took it from here on the crossover down to here, it was 52%. And then it crossed back over, trapped some more bulls. There was plenty of large accounts. There was plenty of people who sell courses way before me. We were calling out prices going back to new all-time highs, right? back here in 2022. And we were shorting. We don't have a copy trading service, but I was posting that I was going to be shorting Ethereum on that bounce. And when it bounced to 3408, I did short it. And I said, many people will be surprised if Ethereum goes below $1,000. And Ethereum, in hindsight, went below $1,000, right? We don't have a magic crystal ball, but there are a lot of reasons why it could have, right? So the point of this is that the MACD took about 4 months, and then there's bullish crossover, and then another bearish crossover coming all the way back down, right? So obviously the MACD isn't included into my actual trading strategy, but if you're looking at it from like a higher time frame, the reason why I look at it is one of the reasons why I look at it is that is it spotting a divergence that maybe RSI doesn't? Thankfully, Bitcoin gives us a lot of divergences on RSI, but if it just in case maybe there's another divergence on MACD that the RSI is not telling us on Bitcoin, so that's a reason. And then also like looking at the higher time frames, you know, if it's in a downtrend, right? If it was in a bear market like 2022, I'm shorting the bounce. If it's in an uptrend, buying the dip, right? So over here, this would be as an example. I traded based off the one-day chart, but when this is going into an uptrend, I'm buying dips, right? I'm buying dips. This is telling me that at least time-wise, you know, Bitcoin's not going to the moon, right? This is telling me at least timing-wise, Bitcoin is not going to the moon. So that's what it's telling me. In the shorter term, I said when it was a pending MACD bearish crossover that prices could go higher in the shorter term, right? Prices could go higher in the shorter term. And so what have we seen, right? So what have we seen? Let's go over to NVIDIA and you kind of see what, and I'll circle back and we'll finish up Bitcoin on the daily chart and all that stuff. But let's go to the Magnificent Seven. Let's look at NVIDIA. And you can see that this last MACD bearish crossover was over here back in December. And you can see price went lower at first, similar to like the $89,000 Bitcoin, pumped all the way back up. Double wick top at 153. Even though there was a bearish MACD crossover on the 5-day chart. Not once, but twice, right? So it could have a MACD bearish crossover. I think this is less likely, but it's possible. 5-day MACD bearish crossover, pumps all the way back up, makes a new all-time high on NVIDIA. And then another 5-day MACD bearish crossover, and then price pumps all the way back up to a double wick top, right? It's still trending downward, right? It's still trending downward. And now you have MACD bearish divergence, right? You have MACD bearish divergence on that. You have you've had RSI bearish divergence on the 5-day chart going all the way back to June 2023, all the way till November 2024. And I've talked about this many times on the 60 plus hours of recorded coaching back in 2022. So if you're not in recorded coaching, you may or may not have heard this, but I've talked about it a lot. I'm looking at higher time frames. No, I use the weekly mostly, but there hasn't been a bearish MACD crossover on the weekly yet, so that's why. Good morning, Javier. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know if I can. Maybe. What's the exact ticker for search purposes? I've looked at it before, but I don't keep it on my chart. Let me know. But a lot of people are talking about that the Chinese stocks have been crashing, but I don't know. I don't keep up on it. Wait a second. Okay. Can you look at Tesla? I broke down internally. Oh, by the way, Buster G, I unblocked you today. I told you I probably unblock you on the X app. I officially unblocked you today. So serve that as warning, though. I was giving you a warning shot. Don't make up things about current snipers in the Discord, about them sharing information with you. That is only posted in the Discord. So I think lessons learned. Next time will be permanent. And if you don't care, you don't care. So with that, let's keep going. So NVIDIA had that last MACD bearish crossover on the 5-day chart over here, right? On December 6th. We will look at the weekly chart. If it decides to cooperate. There we go. There is a weekly chart bearish crossover as well, right? So probably follow the 5-day fairly closely. So if the 5-day crosses over, the weekly chart's most likely going to cross over in the near future, right? So again, whether it's the weekly or the 5-day chart, but we're going to stay on the 5-day chart for this comparison purpose. So you have the crossover on the 5-day, and price went higher, made a new all-time high, right? And then all the perma bulls will be, I got you. You're wrong. Okay, cool. Sweet. You got me. You got me. I lost everything. So then you had another 5-day chart bearish MACD crossover, right? And you've got that while price is making higher highs, the MACD is making lower highs, right? So there's some divergence there. While RSI is making lower highs and relative strength is leaving NVIDIA on the 5-day chart, price is making higher highs. So eventually price catches up. If relative strength is decreasing, price usually catches up. If relative strength is increasing, eventually price will catch up to the upside, right? Bullish divergence, bearish divergence. Equally, in my book, I look at both of them, bullish or bearish divergence. So we're looking at that. Eventually, it'll catch up. It can remain diverged for quite some time, as you can see, even on the 5-day chart. Basically a year and a half of divergence, right? So a lower high is the higher probability, right? So this was looking like a lower high, didn't confirm it with a lower low, but this was looking like a lower high as a possibility, did not confirm it, regained the trending dots, and continue to push higher. This could be the lower high. And of course, if it's closing below 130, that is going to confirm the lower high, and a bigger correction is coming in the video. So starting to look like that more and more. Okay. Yeah, the 4-hour chart, right? We're looking at the 5-day chart, and you're talking about a 4-hour chart. I could show you the 1-minute chart. I could show you the 5-minute chart. Bearish, bullish, depending on what chart you're looking at. But for this purposes, the 5-day chart is a longer time frame. And yes, of course, the 4-hour chart was pumping. Yes, of course, the daily chart was pumping, the 8-hour chart, all that stuff, right? So, but this is the 5-day chart. So NVIDIA had that last 5-day MACD bearish crossover, and price still pumped all the way back up, created a double wick top, and closed back below the trending dots. That is bearish. That's a bearish move. Trapped everyone back in. Everything is fine. There's fire all around me. Everything is fine. So that's NVIDIA. Very, very similar on Apple. If the internet is going to cooperate. If the Wi-Fi is going to cooperate. There we go. slowly but surely. So another MACD bear cross pending on Apple 5-day, right? Another one. So where is it? Where is it? It's not populating. It's taking forever. Let me save it and then might have to refresh it. Let's do a refresh. Ay. There we go. Refresh. Okay, so it's pending another MACD bearish crossover here. There was a bearish crossover, very similar to NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA had that bearish crossover. Price went higher, and now a second MACD bear crossover is happening again. And so we'll see what happens. Maybe Apple comes all the way back up and does a double wick top like NVIDIA, right? It's possible. And then eventually the trend changes and it starts to crash back down. So there you go. Apple is crashing, but what if it does something similar to NVIDIA where it had that MACD bearish crossover, comes all the way down to 125, pumps all the way back up to 153, right? Massive move from wick to wick on this large of an asset, 21%, right? 21% after the second 5-day MACD bearish crossover, right? So something to consider. So if we're comparing that, we'll circle back to Bitcoin. Bitcoin. It's possible it does something like NVIDIA and Apple where price goes higher in the couple of months, right? Maybe it hits 110, 115, 120, whatever. It's possible that happens. Then has a second 5-day MACD bearish crossover. And then starts its correction after that. Maybe another double wick top, right? So those are all possibilities. But as of right now, there is a bearish MACD crossover on the 5-day chart, RSI sell signal, et cetera. So it could take some time to play out. I'm not expecting it to go to it already hit 90,000 to $80,000 tomorrow. I'm not expecting it to go to $70,000 tomorrow. I'm not expecting price to go to $60,000 tomorrow. But if we start seeing NVIDIA, Apple start to come all the way back down, halfway of that move, right? And then who knows, all the way back down the 200-week moving average, then why not Bitcoin follow the lead as well? So just because there's a 5-day bearish MACD crossover, it doesn't mean it couldn't pump up higher first. And we've already seen that. It has gone from the wick to wick so far, 15.5% move, right? And I talked about that before it pumped up. It could bounce back. And I was even posting based off the 1-hour chart when price is at like $90,000. I was posting about the 1-hour chart that there was bullish divergence, and I could see price going back to 96 to 97,000, and price actually went to $100,000 so far. So it depends what time frame you're looking at. Are you looking at the 5-minute chart? Are you looking at the 1-hour chart, the 4-hour chart, the daily chart, the 5-day chart? So the higher time frame is just looking for the overall trend. So there are signs that going through a topping pattern, whether this is the top or there's another top similar to NVIDIA and Apple, right? Gets it up to here and then comes down, gets that double wick top, and then starts its actual correction down. That could take some time to play out, right? If it were to play out similar to NVIDIA and Apple, that could take a few months to play out. So there's that. There is that. So just as awareness, But looking at it from a daily chart, right? Looking at it from the daily chart, clean some of this up. As of right now, it hasn't even broken out of this downward trend line yet. So if it is going to be a breakout, here, move that up to the daily chart. You've got this resistance. You've got this resistance at 102.4. You've got this resistance here at 105, right? So if it is going to be a breakout shorter term, even with the 5-day chart, it could come down like this, put in a higher low, and then break out. And then we'll see, if it's going to do that whole NVIDIA and Apple thing, right? And then it starts to come back out like that, and then come back down like that. So eventually the divergences will get cleared, right? Eventually the divergences will get cleared, but it could create additional divergence, whether it's MACD, RSI, etc. And I'm sure there's plenty of other indicators that will show divergence at any given time. So there you go. There you go. There you go. 4-hour chart, just for fun, right? Just for fun. So broke down over here on January 7th, came all the way down to 89,000. It was getting oversold, followed by a reverse candle, followed by the buy signal over here, right? So depending on what time frame you're trading, so it's so funny that people are like, oh, you're posting a 5-day chart, you got wrecked. Well, I don't trade based off of the 5-day chart. I trade with the trend. I'm looking for signs, early signs. I'm looking for trend reversals at the top or the bottom, just like end of 2022, November, December 2022, I was calling out bullish divergence. Many people were talking about $4,000 Bitcoin, zero Bitcoin, all that stuff. I was talking about there's bullish divergence. We could be seeing a reversal, but I'm waiting for a higher probability of a reversal at I didn't catch the bottom at 15,500 or whatever it was. I don't care to. My goal is to capture 80% of the move, right? So the bottom minus 5 to 10%, the top minus 5 to 10%. So that is my goal. If I can capture 80% of the move, that's more than enough. I don't need to catch the top wick or the bottom wick. If you pick tops and bottoms based off of wicks, you'll probably lose 3 times out of 4. I would, since I'm actually using real money, I would rather have like a 70 to 80% win rate and capture 80% of the move. That's what I prefer. Everyone's different. Maybe some people only want to be 30% right and capture all of the move, right? I don't want to. I want to capture 80% of the move, treat it like a business, and capture the top minus 5 to 10%. That's the goal. 2021, it was a top minus 10 to 13%, but my goals have increased. And at the bottom, it was like the bottom minus 6%, I think it was. So I hit the goal, and I hit the goal, the top minus 10 to 13% back in 2021 when I got a $61,000. So depending on what time frame you look at, this is the 4-hour chart. So yes, you could trade the 4-hour chart, right? Buy, sell. Getting oversold, reversal, buy, right? So there you go. There you go. There you go. 4-hour chart. So it just depends what you're into. Just depends what you're into. Almost hit target 2. Not quite yet, though. Not quite yet. Lower. This is the high. This is a lower high. This is a lower low, confirming that lower high. Will this be a lower high, or will it play out longer term, similar to like a NVIDIA and Apple 5-day chart? I don't know. We don't know. We don't know. But the leverage game is in full swing right now. The leverage longs versus the leverage shorts. The battle is on. The battle is on. So that's Bitcoin 4-hour chart. Let's get back on the daily chart and let's just take a look at the markets. Good morning, separate kings and queens. Yeah, G-Rod. Good to see you back on here. There are mostly men, but we do have some sniper queens that follow and are in the Discord as well. They've been there for over 2 years. So, but they're in the minority, mostly men. Ooh, Bitcoin dominance. Had a sell signal yesterday, right? So that's what we're watching right now. Bitcoin dominance. You get a candle close below there and starting to look better and better for the alts. And target 1 has been hit so far to the downside. This was to the upside. That at the very bottom, we have this Bitcoin dominance of 4 out of 4 longer term targets hit. It hit all 4 out of 4. It took a couple of years, but it did. It was based off of the weekly chart, right? This is the daily chart. We have a MACD bearish crossover on the daily chart as well, pending. We had a sell signal again yesterday, closed back below the trending dots, and now it's starting to close back below here. So transitioning in over to the altcoins. Ethereum, not yet. Looks very similar to Bitcoin. Has hit 4 out of 4 targets to the downside. Did fill that CME gap that we talked about. Bitcoin has not yet. Ethereum has. Doesn't mean Bitcoin will in the very, very near future, but it could. Switching gears over to H-bar. Bullish over here. Had that buy signal. Posted about it, right? Posted Algo, H-bar, XRP, XLM, and ADA when it was a pending buy signal on Tuesday. Had a buy signal, and then price started taking off to the upside. So this is what we were watching. We were covering it. This is what we were looking for. Had the buy signal, started to get back above the trending dots, and then the breakout is there. So we'll see now if there's going to be some sort of, come back, put in a higher low, maybe even come back below, who knows, and then takes off again to the upside. So see if it gets a close above here. That is bullish as well. So if it gets back above there, that is bullish. Could consolidate in this range here. This is like a weekly horizontal at 33 cents. A weekly horizontal. So it broke through there. Algo, similar thoughts, right? Similar thoughts. Maybe something like that. Sometimes these wicks are just so big you can't really. That works. So you had the buy signal. I talked about the pending buy signal, and then it started to get back above the trending dots, and then broke out there to the upside. So again, this is another weekly horizontal line up there. Kind of lines up with the daily chart as well. So that's the daily chart. Altcoins are pumping. XRP, boom. Hit 3 out of 4 targets to the downside. Found support once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It retested the 3rd target. Never hit the 4th target. Not all targets get hit, but they're on there for a reason. They get hit often. Target 3, as you can see, got hit often. And then you can see that, the breakout here, you could even draw it like that. This last breakout. And then, of course, you could have gotten more aggressive on that last buy signal over here, right? So that was the last buy signal, was a very aggressive breakout at finding support. Breakout, puts in a higher low. There is like 3 pending sells, and then, but it's not how the candle starts, it's how it closes. and none of them closed with the sell signal, and then broke out over here. Another breakout on the weekly horizontal, and then now it's ultra bullish again. And so what I was pointing out on some of the posts that it went ultra bullish over here, right? Now it's going ultra bullish again. We'll move the rocket out of the way. And then potential rocket back above the weekly charts, right? So let's look at XLM, ADA, and we'll come back and look at the weekly charts too. XLM, very similar. The aggressive breakout is like that. That's the aggressive downward breakout. Then you have less aggressive, right? So you just have to determine what your strategy and plan is. Again, retested target 3 many times, even dipped below it a couple of times, never hit target 4. I didn't move target 4 up to try to look better. The targets are the targets. Not all of them get hit, right? Not all of them get hit. I'm not trying to show better results than actual results, right? So found support at target 3, had the buy signal, came back down. This one actually did have a sell signal, but then quickly flipped right back around and started moving back up. So that's XLM. They're wild animals. They pump hard, they dump hard. They pump hard, and they crash hard, right? So Cardano, similar thoughts over here. No need to keep drawing out the same things over and over again. So let's switch gears. Let's go back to the weekly chart. So if you zoom out here in the weekly chart had a buy signal. So it's still by the dip. It's still by the dip land for me, right? Still by the dip scenario. The higher time frames are still bullish. So you have the buy signal, price came back down the trending dots, and then it's a buy the dip situation, right? Price has hit 2 out of 4 longer term targets so far. These targets are drawn back here at 25 cents, and they're still valid today, in my opinion. You get back above here, you see the weekly chart. I probably moved it to the 2-week chart, but that's the weekly chart. Rockets up there, just kind of like a reference versus XRP. So we'll take a look at it. So 2 out of 4 targets have been hit so far. XLM, 4 out of 4 targets have been hit so far. You got the rocket up here, similar to XRP. We'll see what happens. Speaking of XRP, goes all the way back to over here. This is the 2-week, but if you move it to the weekly chart, it's still up there on the weekly chart. So you can see it went ultra bullish on the weekly chart and still is ultra bullish on the weekly chart, right? Still. So buy signal down here at 60 cents. I reposted a chart on the breakout based off of the daily chart back in November at 52 cents. So I was there for it on the breakout. I bought there on the breakout at 52 cents. It pumped hard. I sold and then bought back in on this dip here, right? Bought back in on that dip based off of the daily chart. So bought, sold, bought, haven't sold. Still have XRP right now. So not a lot. I don't go all in. Not a lot. I'm not going to make millions off of it. Let's keep going. I'll go. Weekly chart, right? Similar thoughts. Had the buy signal back here at 14 cents. Got rejected the 200-week moving average. Hasn't even hit target 1 yet. Hasn't hit even target 1 yet. Possible rocket ship up there. Whoo-wee. Still a lot of potential on Algo, right? Just getting to target 1 is 80%. Just getting to target 2, 174%. So ADA has already hit target 2. H-bar has already hit at least target 2 or target 3. That would be 250%. XLM has hit all 4 targets, 350%. So is Bitcoin, by the way, right? XRP is already taken out this weekly horizontal. That would be 400%. And then it's potential rocket ship. And where do we have higher targets up there, right? We don't know if it's going to happen or not. We don't have a magic crystal ball. But if XRP were to hit the similar target all the way up here, and then Algo follows XRP, even to there, still 862%. So it matters where you get in as well, because it's bullish. But if you started making your buys back here at 15 cents, right, based off the weekly chart, then it's a 2,800% increase versus 860% potential, right? And so then you don't need price to pump as much to make as much. So if you went off of that buy signal back here at 15 cents, then you're looking at target 4 is 1,300%, and still 1,000% return at target 3. So that's where buying low and selling into the FOMO is where the magic really is, right? Not buying the FOMO and then selling FOMO, buying low and then selling into the FOMO, right? So there we go. So that's Algo. A lot of potential, a lot of opportunities. We probably just go through a bunch of altcoins that haven't even hit target 1 yet. Sand still bullish on the weekly chart. Mana still bullish on the weekly chart, right? Still a lot of potential out there. We don't know if they're going to pump as hard and high as, say, XRP or Bitcoin, or if they're just lagging time-wise, right? So we never know. We never know. Bitcoin $100,000 watch party. Yep. And I'm out of water. I'm out of water. Mana, bullish. Filecoin, bullish. On the weekly chart, right? Chainlink, bullish. After retesting the trending dots. This is probably target 4, I think. So it has hit 3 out of 4 targets to the upside. Probably right around target 2 right now. Probably very close to target 2. So we'll see. Chainlink. Solana made a new all-time high on this exchange. What is this? KuCoin. Took that horizontal out, closed above it, and then came all the way back down, hit 5 out of 5 retracement targets over here, and now it's breaking back out again. So that's the weekly chart. Still bullish over there. Near, not yet, right? Not yet. Not even yet on the daily chart. So if you're into near, could see a breakout in the near future. Boom, never gets old. Not for me, at least. Never gets old. So there you go. Some of them are lagging time-wise. Some of them will not perform as good as others. But that is near. Could be breaking out in the near future, right? Dot, yes, we do have. Yes, we can be real cheesy over here at times, right? So there you go. Dot had a buy signal and a breakout yesterday. Looks like it back tested the trending dots and the downward trend line. So Dot is starting its breakout on the daily chart. Bullish, fetch, theta. There you go. What else? Gold. Yep, breaking out. Still in this consolidation box. Looks like a 7% range. But breaking out to the upside. There you go. Silver had a buy signal as well, breaking up to the upside. NASDAQ, we'll see if this rising wedge plays out or not. Many people posting on X, commenting, gotcha, head and shoulders never plays out, blah, 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 blah. Well, I've said it a million times, right? I've said it a million times over the years that I don't trade based off of patterns, right? I think it's a 50-50 whether it works out or not. And then I think it's a 30 to 35% chance that the patterns actually hit their targets, right? So a lot of people getting triggered out there on a free algorithm by TradingView on Head and Shoulders, right? A lot of people getting triggered over there. The gotcha people are coming out in full droves, right? In full droves, or should we call it drones? Full drones. There's a lot of bots on X. Get it? Right. Jokes are flying really good today. What else? NASDAQ has hit one target so far. Just missed target 2, similar to Bitcoin. Just hit target 2. Just missed target 2, similar to Bitcoin. Let's look at the 5-day chart. MACD bearish crossover. MACD bearish crossover. Price goes higher. MACD bearish crossover. Price goes higher. MACD bearish crossover. Price goes higher. MACD bearish crossover. Except that's looking like MACD bearish divergence there. So we'll see. Weekly chart. MACD bearish crossover on the weekly chart as well. Not sure what's all going on over here. Let's clean it up. I don't remember. Kind of see there on the weekly chart. Right? So there is some divergence on the MACD. There's divergence on the RSI, of course. And there's divergence on the RSI going all the way back to June 2023. So it could take a long time for divergences to play out, as you can see. You can even see like the MACD. It's kind of like peaking all the way over here, peaked again over here, but making a lower high, making lower highs, right? So that is the weekly chart. Longer term, 5-day chart, all right? Had that last crossover, wick down, wicks back up. They all start looking very similar. Oh, I'm out of water. Might have to take a quick 30 seconds. Go down, grab some more water. Let's see. Let's keep going. SP 500, 5-day chart. Never hit this longer term target. Not yet. Never has. Not yet. Not yet. We don't know if it will or not. Divergence on the MACD 5-day chart. Bearish divergence on the RSI as well. Sell signal, MACD bearish crossover. There's a lot of reasons why, whether the top is in or the top is going to be in the very near future. There's a lot of reasons why it could be, right? Could be. Dow Jones back below the trending dots, even on the higher time frames. This is the 5-day chart. You can see had the crossover back here, wicked all the way down to 42,000, pumped back up, retested the trending dots, and there we go. Let's see. Longer term, right? Longer term trend lines. Long-term bearish divergence. Long-term bearish divergence. So long-term bearish divergence on the Dow Jones. The Russell. Similar thoughts, right? So that's all of that. Dollar. Uptrend for now. We'll see how it plays out. Still in an uptrend as of right now. There is bearish divergence on the dollar. So could be going through a correction in the near future. What else? Apple, we already covered. We'll just take a quick look at the Magnificent Seven. Someone asked about, you got it. NVIDIA daily chart, 2 targets so far. Meta, Amazon, Microsoft, Tesla, not much to really report on Tesla. It's hit 2 out of 4 targets to downside so far. You do have some gaps down below. So we'll see, right? We will see. Weekly chart, still bullish. 5-day chart, still ultra bullish. So it still could be dip buying season on Tesla for right now, right? Could be a buy the dip scenario based off of higher time frames. So when the higher time frames are bullish and ultra bullish, then if there was like a MACD bullish crossover on the daily, RSI buy signal, all that stuff could be buy the dip season if those things are happening while the higher time frames are still bullish. So that's where I'd say it's still buy the dip season. Other ones are showing divergences that the buy the dip season could be over, and it could be short the bounce season in the near future on some of the ones that we talked about. Yeah. Yep. You could probably do something like that, right? You could probably even take a more aggressive line, maybe here to here, right? So yeah, it's kind of back testing the trending dots and the trend line right now. So if it still is by the dip season, like the higher time frames are saying, the 5-day chart, the weekly chart, probably the 2-week chart, probably the monthly chart, all that stuff, then it's probably still by the dip season. And so target 1, target 2 was hit, and then could be finding support and see if it takes off to the upside after that. Looks a little bit different than these other ones, right? So Apple looks different. Talked about the bearish divergence on Apple, followed by the reversal candle, followed by a candle close below the trending dots, followed by the sell signal, followed by, right? So Apple looks different than Tesla, right? So if they look different, is it possible that Tesla is like over here, right? Where it's by the dip season still, and then like the divergences play out over time and then starts to roll back over. Google, gap at 178, SPY, TGI, Dow Jones Transportation's catching a bounce. So that was a pretty big move down though. What else? Anything else catching our eye? Let's see. Who else? China. I guess I could try searching for it. What did you say the 10-year yield? Let's see. Where is it? Where's that? Oh, bonds. Yeah. 10-year yield. China 10-year government bonds. Okay. I don't think I've looked at this one. It's been a while. So this is a daily chart. Topped out at like 4. Let's see. Let's look at the weekly chart. Yep, lowest they've been since this chart has been posting in 2002, right? 2.4. It's all the way down at 1.65. 2-week chart. Yeah, so 2-week chart is getting crushed, oversold, right? Oversold, can remain oversold. I mean, it's just bearish. Just their 10-year bond yield is just getting crushed, which means lower rates. But the chart is bearish, right? So lower on a 10-year yield. Monthly, similar thoughts to the monthly. So may not find bottom for a while. Weekly, daily. Daily could have a bounce, meaning higher rates, right? You do have some bullish divergence, MACD bullish crossover, but with the higher time frames being so bearish, I mean, these rates could just, bounce back up, continue lower, bounce back up, continue lower, right? Something like that, while the higher time frames are still bearish. And then if the higher time frames start to turn back around, it could take time to play out, right? They could be low for a while, I guess, right? So if the higher time frames start to turn back around, it may take a while for the ship to get turned around, which means the rates should remain low on China government bonds. Yep. Covered it. Yep. PDD, we can look at it. Oh, remember, I'm out of water. Woo, getting close to that 10 o'clock anyway. So, probably last one. Let's see. Chinese stock. PDD. Is that it? It's on the NASDAQ? I don't see okay, so maybe that one. Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so price came all the way back down to 200-week moving average, right? Looks like the peak was 2021, lower high over here. So it's been kind of, ever since December 2021, it's just been kind of battling the 200-week moving average, right? So not much really to report. Probably going to see a bounce, but how high for how long, who knows? But there was a buy signal. There was bullish divergence, right? Additional, no, that looks like a higher low. MACD had a bullish crossover, getting closer. We can look at the higher time frames. The higher time frames are still bearish right now, so the bounce might not be great. It might be like a bounce like this, bounce like this, bounce like this, right? So that's about it. Weekly chart still bearish. 2-week chart still bearish. Still bearish. So even on the daily chart, you can see that maybe the bounce comes up, gets rejected or spikes above, and then continues downward. The higher time frames are still bearish. So if there's bounces on the daily chart, then, if I was shorting it, which I'm not, obviously, I would be shorting the bounces, right? Like if everything's reversing over on higher time frames, then I'm shorting these bounces on the daily chart, right? Shorting here. I'm not doing the buy the dips, right? Shorting. If you're on lower time frames, I'd be shorting, right? And then you see it gets oversold. You can see that the ship's trying to get turned around with the RSI buy signals, MACD crossovers. You got the histogram going in the correct direction, right? So a lot of signs, right? And then you get a nice rally, right? Then you get a nice rally, and then it's just back to the 200-week moving average. So that's about it on PDD. Okay. Woo! Thirsty Thursdays. Need some more water, right? This 2-week chart. So you got bearish divergence on the 2-week chart, followed by a reversal candle, right? Bearish divergence, followed by a reversal candle on the 2-week chart. the probabilities are increasing that we're going to at least retest the trending dots in the near future, right? Whether the trending dots are up here at 83,000, 87,000, 91,000, whatever the case may be, right? You can see the bearish divergence over here, followed by a sell signal, right? And then price came back to the trending dots on the 2-week chart and below it, right? Additional bearish divergence followed by RSI sell signal. And price came back to the trending dots and then came all the way back to the 200-week moving average. So I've pointed that out before, right? Bearish divergence. You get a sell signal, which is going to be lagging on the 2-week chart. Then trending dots will come back to the 200-week moving average and possibly all the way down to the 200-week, to the trending dots, and then possibly all the way back down to the 200-week moving average if you get that sell signal again on the 2-week chart. It'll be in hindsight. It'll be so obvious in hindsight. It starts on the daily. It starts on the lower time frames. Then it moves to the daily. Then it moves to the 3-day chart. Then the 5-day chart. Then the weekly. Then the 2-week chart. You get the point, right? You get the point. So bearish divergence followed by a sell signal, and the trending dots will be the next thing. And then if price starts closing below there, as you can see, I don't know why I have all these horizontals on. I was doing something. Back to the trending dots, close below. Then if you start getting closes below it and the trending dots start to curl over, in hindsight, it was so obvious, and price comes back all the way down over here. So that could take a while, right? That could take a while. So if you get a sell signal, right, from the top all the way down here, you're looking at 15 2-week candles, right? From the top, if you get a sell signal, all the way down here, 15 candles, right? Could take a lot longer. So we don't know. We'll take it level by level. And right now, we're watching the daily chart is currently bullish, but it could put in a lower high. 5-day chart, MACD bearish crossover, etc., etc. With that, smash a like, repost. Appreciate you helping me, help me with the algorithms, and hope you have a good rest of your day. I'm not sure I'm going to be jumping on tomorrow or not. It's possible. If anything major is happening, probably, but if not, then maybe not. So we'll see you on the next one. Adios.